Hey y'all, it is J Marie, and I want to just take a moment and record a short video that I could pin to all of my social platforms about what we're doing now at Affirm the Word Literary and the direction that we're going, especially on our social channels. Because one of the things that I've realized now in 5 years of doing this is yes, we had the intention of with our journals really conveying to believers the importance of not just reading the word, but speaking it over your life. Really crafting I am statements from the word, really being consistent with daily speaking the word. Because if you're not focused and you're not intentional, and you're not disciplined with the things that you say, it's very easy to speak all kind of negativity about, I can't win for losing, or you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and something is always going on, and you speak those things, and that is what you continue to manifest. And my purpose, because I've seen how powerful it is when you get disciplined with how you speak, especially when you begin to consistently speak what God says about you daily and sometimes multiple times a day, how you begin to see Him show up in your life, that I really felt like, okay, let's really focus on this. However, I'm really learning that in addition to that, it's also critical to focus on the life that God has called you to. And you, despite your imperfections, despite your inconsistencies with the other things that you have intention to do in your life, you being intentional about showing up with Him and learning of Him and understanding what it is to be in a relationship with Him is going to lay the foundation for you to be able to walk in the abundant life that He's calling you to. Because no matter how perfect you try and be, it's only through His strength in the midst of your chaos and weakness that He shows Himself strong and He gets the glory. It's never going to be about you being perfect. It's never going to be about you having everything put together. But if you can get to a place where daily you're walking in surrender, as Luke 9:23 says, you pick up your cross, which is you pick up your will. Daily you're laying yourself down. Daily you're going before God. And you're saying, listen, before I do anything, God, what is it that you have me to do? I want to go in this direction, but God, what do you think about that? If you can get to a place of consistently going before God and allowing Him, consistently meaning daily, going before God and allowing Him to give you your marching orders and checking in with Him and not making decisions before He answers, or going before Him in prayer and waiting until He gives you an unequivocal response. If you can get to the place of doing that, I can guarantee you and assure you, then not only will you begin to see His hand consistently at work in your life, I'm talking about on a daily basis, and not just in a miraculous way where you're hoping that He shows up and will He show up, I don't, but on a daily basis, not only will you see that, but you'll also begin to walk out this life that communicates and presents to the world that He's already called you by name. And you're already blessed in the heavenlies, as His word says. And He's already given you richly all things to enjoy. And all the things that He's told you is already manifested. You will remain in a place of perfect peace. Does it mean that you won't get shaken every now and then? No, but it means that you can quickly come back to it because you run back to Him, not your homegirl, not mama and them, and all that in between. So I want our social media channels to be a place where you get a chance to see me do that. Because it's not enough to just say, okay, well, this is what we do and this is what we have, but I want to show you how, after making the decision to completely up and move my life from one state to another, which was such a massive move, how God showed Himself strong. How God continues to do things that I could have never imagined. How, if somebody would tell me 10 years ago I'd be here doing this, I learned a long time ago not to say, yeah, right, but I would have been like, okay, let's see, and how God has done it. That's what I hope that our social platform will be. So, yes, you'll see some things about our products, but you'll also see me dealing with the things that come up and bring them before God and seeing God show up with them. Because there's so many times that God does some incredible things. I'm like, God, I wish I could tell somebody about that. God, I wish I could do, but I didn't put it out there because it wasn't connected to what we do on our products and the way we present our materials to the world. So I hope that when you come to this channel, you'll be inspired. I hope that it encourages you to understand that even through setbacks and inconsistencies and disappointment, that you can always still run to God, and God still has a plan and purpose for your life, and he can still take that, as Romans 8:28 says, and work it out for your good. And then you can present it to us so that we can see what he's done with that, because that's what he's doing in my life. That's what I want our social channel to be about. So yes, you'll see things about our products, but you'll also see things about what God is doing in my life as an owner, as a founder of this company. You'll get a chance to see how I'm overcoming things in my life with my family and being a mom and everything else. All these things I want to be able to share, so that our platforms is not just about the product, but it's about the product at work. It's about the product in action. It's about what God is doing in me, because it's only through what he's doing in me that I'm able to share that with you. So I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're inspired. I hope that as you have questions about the things that we do and the stuff that I put out, that you'll share it. And I hope that God allows me to be an even greater blessing again, not just through the materials that we put out, but through the way in which he manifests his presence in my life. And I'm able to share that with you. So that's what this whole platform is about. That's what all my platforms will be about. I'm not sure if companies have ever done it that way, but I pray that when you come to this platform, you're blessed. I pray that you're encouraged to continue to run to God, because there is nothing that you can do that will cause him to turn his back on you, other than to say that he's not God and he can't do what he says he can do. And I don't see you doing that. So if you trust him and you love him and you're ready to surrender your life to him, I pray that if you're a customer that uses our I pray that if you're a customer that uses our materials, that you're greater inspired to see how they are working my life as well. And if you're not, I pray that either way, whether you become a customer or not, that you're a person who can get encouraged in knowing that God is for you, that he will never leave you or forsake you, and that if you can take a moment to just prioritize him in your life every day, that he'll lead you in the path that he would have you to go, which is ultimately going to be toward your highest good and the highest good of everyone that you encounter. So God bless you. Um, Hopefully enjoy the content, and yeah, we'll see what God does. Peace.